program was made possible by
Threadiverse, Patreon, and kick-ass viewers like you. Seriously, thank you. Disney and the Big Mouse continue to do it again and again and again and again and again. The House of M has made it a literal mint with remakes. Remake after remake after remake. I repeat that over and over so you can kind of get the scope that, holy shit, they do it far too much. It seems like it took the threat of World War III, the Pentagon releasing UFO videos, wildfires, literal murder hornets, a global pandemic, and riots just for good measure just to pause the remakes. Mulan was supposed to release early 2020, and that may have not been enough to stop the Big D from penetrating the world. Also, Disney, I agree with you. Black lives matter. Just like Hong Kong lives matter.
We've got to have
Speaking of Black Lives Matter, people, please stay safe out there. I'm really proud of you people that are actually standing up for what you believe in. It's a beautiful thing to see. A pandemic can still be a thing. So, God, please, 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 please be safe. All right, distracting from the video. I figured while I was trapped in the glory that is indoors, that misery loves company, and I decided to finally watch Aladdin. No, not that Aladdin.
You ain't never had a friend like me.
I know. I have a history with the franchise. I watched all the movies, I played the video games, I even played the game on this channel. There even was an Aladdin TV show I used to watch, and god damn, I forgot how good Mirage looked. Holy shit. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how furries are born. When I was a kid, one of my favorite movies was the Aladdin movie, which was the adaptation of an Arabian Nights story. I was too young to understand why I liked the adaptation so much, but I knew I liked bright colors, the fluid animation. You had the fun characters, the memorable story. It was just pleasant. I loved it. That's of course really before I realized what Disney was, but regardless of how Disney is as a company, you could tell that the people that actually worked on it directly really cared about the project. They really had passion and love for it. The setting was done well with respect, the characters had life to them. Jasmine had a good character for a damsel in distress. I mean, she really spoke to girls and women about not being forced to take a husband. Although she did at the end kind of removing that lesson pretty quickly. But it was still done well. Jafar was actually a pretty cool character, even if he is an asshole. Although, on retrospect, the fact that he wanted Jasmine, who was just like, FBI, open up! And then, of course, you had Genie.
10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck.
Who for many of us was the GOAT before we even knew what the GOAT was. The character doesn't exist without Robin Williams though. In my book, he truly is Genie. Now, how cool was Genie? It was one of my first taste of characters breaking the fourth wall. I had never seen anything like it before, so my first thought when the remake was announced is Genie is not going to be the Genie that I remember. I say this because I wanted to give whoever played him the benefit of a doubt, and I am a fan of Will Smith. Not the best actor at times, but he's really fun and enjoyable. I mean, regardless of how you feel about him, especially with garbage movies like these.
What, we some kind of Suicide Squad?
He's still fun. Sometimes new people playing a character can surprise you.
I'm just gonna hurt you. Really, really bad.
Shut the fuck up, Spring Breakers Joker. So I'm going in hoping for the best but expecting the worst. Will Aladdin the remake drop the bomb or not? So we start off with Will Smith singing a tale of a far off land while he's on a ship sailing somewhere with some kids, and honestly, I don't fucking know what's going on. Maybe it's from the original story. Hey, future me here. I'm almost certain that this is of course supposed to be Genie, but I like my ending a bit more. So we keeping it in. Shut up. No, you shut up. Shut up. And within the story of a story of a story, Aladdin is introduced, along with best buddy Apu and Princess Jasmine. Some shit goes down and eventually they get away. While in Aladdin's hideout, she lets it slip with the pronoun game that she's the princess by saying my, but Aladdin's either too dumb or he has hearing issues to realize what she said. Now, granted they didn't have cotton swabs back then, so as she tries to go back to the palace, she realizes that something's been stolen from her. Now, granted she thinks Aladdin did this, but actually it was Apu, which... Really, Queen? Seriously, was she this stupid in the original? You do realize that there is more than one creature in the room, right? But if you look at videos of monkeys online, they're literally just free roaming, stealing shit from all over the place. Why is that a surprise? Whatever, I can't remember what happened. I'm not going back to watch it. You're really only here to just listen to me complain, which it's funny to listen to me complain. Back at the palace, Jasmine is introduced to some kind of prince. I don't know who it is. I forgot who it was. It was a nobody, really. And during that time between Jafar and the Sultan, Jafar is in the middle of using some Jedi mind tricks to do like a hostile takeover of the Sultan's mind. And yes, they can definitely exist in the same universe. I mean, Disney owns both Star Wars and Aladdin, and they can exist together. Damn, actually, Jasmine as a Jedi would be pretty sick. Disney, get on that. That's money. I know you like that. I know you fiend for it.
We've got to have.
Quickly, you find out that Jafar is one of those get back in the kitchen types.
How dare you!
So Jasmine goes and cries about it, and by cries I mean she sings. This is still a Disney movie after all. Then it cuts back to Aladdin, why I'm not sure. Then we cut back to Jasmine, who's talking to her handmaid, which her handmaid, she's actually pretty cute in a second banana kind of way. Yet Jasmine gets quiet when the handmaiden mentions being with Aladdin.
You what?
I mean, in the same sentence you're talking about being more than what you already are, then you get moist to some rando that you just met like 5 minutes ago. It's like, what, you think Aladdin is the only mediocre, slick-talking male in a 100-mile radius? Do they use miles? I guess I hate kilometers. She eventually gets to see Aladdin again, and after their little rendezvous, Aladdin tries to leave out of the palace and runs into Jafar, who coaxes him into going to the Cave of Wonders for him. Apu screws up just like the original, which is something because the cave says you're not supposed to touch anything, or at least anything of value in it, yet while trying to get to the lamp, they still touch other things getting to it. Like, they still have to climb on other, whatever. I guess I'm thinking too hard.
Is he though?
They get the lamp and try to escape, and lava is coming from all directions. They eventually make it towards the exit, and Jafar, being the dick that he is, literally tries to murder Aladdin, then gets pissed when he finds out Apu got the 5-finger discount. They end up getting trapped in the cave, and this is where the genie makes his big entrance. Will Smith, Genie, does his "You Ain't Never Had a Friend Like Me" dance, and it's good, don't get me wrong, but it feels slow compared to Robin Williams, and it doesn't have quite the same energy. Now, granted, it's not that fair since it was animation versus CGI. It was good on a whole, but just off of comparison to the original, it's good, but it's like, okay. Some of the jokes are good. There's some decent banter between Genie and Aladdin.
Nobody will recognize you. That's how genie magic works.
And in the whole prince sequence, making Aladdin into a prince, it's cute. I kind of like it. Then he makes his grand entrance back into Agrabah as a prince. Genie does the Prince Ali song, and admittedly, I like the song. But it could be that I just like the song itself. The choreography was fine too. The cringe fest that is Prince Ali's meeting with the Sultan, Jafar, and Jasmine, it got a few chuckles out of me. There's this weird scene with Aladdin being scared to approach Jasmine. I get it's a joke, and it's just part of the story, but
A pleasure for me, Your Highness, sir.
what the hell happened to that confident, suave, and smooth Aladdin from the very beginning? Hey guys, look, I'm shy, LOL.
Beta!
After they get fully acquainted and agree to meet later, the genie and handmaiden subplot, it's a little weird, but I like it. It checks out. Some antics ensue, and then we get to the goodies, the nitty gritty, the real spitty hitty. I'm speeding it up because I know you don't want to be here all day. A little more awkwardness ensues, a little more dancing. You know, Aladdin actually cuts a rug for a little bit, and we finally get to the whole new world.
Time to spare. Let me share this whole new.
No, unacceptable.
Arguably the most popular Disney song ever created. The biggest problem with that is it's boring. I think the realism really hurts the magical aspect of the whole new world scene, but the way that the world has a lush glow about it just looks better animated. The singing is good. It's not super great, but it's good. It's not bad. It's just, the scene is just forgettable. I'm really struggling with this. It's just like Will Smith's "You Ain't Never Had a Friend Like Me" segment. You know he can act, you know they can sing, it's just forgettable. Anyways, after the whole thing is over, Aladdin gets a kiss from Jasmine. He also is blue-balled, but he's happy about it. Iago snitches on him, and you know,
Man, there's snitches everywhere. They under the bed too.
Anyways, Aladdin gets captured again, and I don't want to be Neil deGrasse Tyson about this, but they put him at the edge of a window to where he can be just pushed out while he's strapped to a chair. And I just have to say, at the point where Aladdin's head hits the water, that should have been a concussion. He should have died right there. Like, does this universe not know what surface tension is and what it can do to a person's body? Well, then again, considering the fact that you have a magical flying carpet and you have a genie that can grant 3 wishes, I guess I should shut the fuck up, huh? Then the people finally realize we have to stop Jafar. He has fooled everyone completely. And it's like, I'm sorry, what? The Sultan literally checked Jafar in the very beginning. Well, like, why is this an issue? Just stop him. Just throw his ass in jail and be done with it. Which is exactly what they finally do. It definitely took them long enough to do it. And then Iago just shows up with a key out of nowhere. I don't know if I missed anything, but Iago gets a random key, a random exact match key. Where the fuck did he even get it from? Did I just zone out from being bored? I can't figure out where Iago got that key. I still have no idea where that key came from. Anyways, Will Smith, Genie, have a bit of a falling out with Aladdin, and then that same 5-finger discount treatment happens to him as well, and the lamp is now gone. Jafar finally does that hostile takeover he's been dreaming about thanks to the lamp. Jasmine gets another get back in the kitchen comment, so we're like at 3 or 4 by now.
How dare you!
Jasmine starts singing away the guards, then she reminds Hakeem, oh yeah, there is a guard named Hakeem here. I miss Razul.
Men, I'm trying to sneak around to capture Aladdin, but I'm dummy thick, and the clap of my ass cheeks keeps alerting that filthy street rat.
But anyways, she gives him a speech and he comes back on her side. Also, by the way, did Jasmine Thanos those guards? Like, did that happen or was that just in her song? I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it too much. Is he though? As shit starts to hit the fan, Jafar makes a wish to become the most powerful sorcerer there is. And just like Dragon Ball Z, they stand around and let the villain power up.
We do that a lot.
He could have been stabbed or arrowed a couple of times before it was even complete, but they just let him do it. And wait, Jafar, wait. So let me get this straight. You get sick of being told to know your place. Yes, he's been told to know his place multiple times in the story. Yet you do the same thing to Jasmine. Like, I'm sorry, what? I get you're supposed to be a dick, but why would you do the same thing that was done to you, literally, in the same time frame of like a couple of days? Also, she's 16. Alright, man, this is taking a long time to finish. Okay. Jasmine jumps. She gets the lamp. Oh yeah, Aladdin, he got sent to the ice cap zone. Did I mention that? Yes, he's in the ice cap zone now. He eventually was able to make it back. Iago gets transformed into a giant bird, and yes, the director thought, what should one of the biggest final battles be? Let's make it a giant bird. We're not gonna go with this cool ass snake or anything. We stay faithful to the original, yet, giant ass bird. Anyways, Jafar punishes Jasmine and things come to a head after a nice monologue and some bullshit along the side. Jafar gets monkey pawed, and after wishing to be the most powerful being in the universe instead of the most powerful sorcerer, since he really sucks ass as a sorcerer, he gets trapped in the lamp. Genie tosses him into the Cave of Wonders, which over a couple thousand years or so, I would imagine someone is likely going to come across it since it's technically near Agrabah. It's like outside of Agrabah. It's down the street from Agrabah. After Jafar is vanquished into the lamp and, tossed down the street, Aladdin then uses his final wish to free Genie from the lamp. And then he asks Genie, so what are you going to do now? Well, these days are all that's pretty much the Aladdin movie, or at least the Aladdin remake. Disney has figured out there is no cooldown needed between exploiting nostalgia for money and not. And they are cranking them out back to back to the point where it took a literal pandemic and a bunch of other things, like literally a global scale, to slow down the mighty M. But let's be clear, it's temporary.
We've got to have.
And that is pretty much the Aladdin remake, ladies and gentlemen. I think one of the biggest things that can sum up the issue with it is in the whole new world. A whole new world that's seen in this remake, it sounds like it's about love, but it's supposed to be more about giving Jasmine the option and freedom and choice of adventure rather than just, ooh, I love you, ooh. Her whole character arc from the beginning is being trapped and forced to do what is best for the kingdom and her father, but not for her. But hey, I love you too, it's fine. And Genie is supposed to be bombastic, cool, over the top, and funny, and that's kind of something considering the fact that Will Smith is usually generally funny. It was kind of hard to get some laughs in this movie. Maybe that's just Will Smith's demeanor in comparison to Robin Williams when he acted as Genie, but it just felt like the Genie was being too cool, if that makes sense, rather than just unique and a character in and of itself. There is an argument for Gilbert Gottfried making Iago fun. Iago is generally annoying, but the wise guy demeanor of Iago in the original movie was a good counterbalance to Jafar's straightforward evilness. Like, the sarcasm of Iago really helped the balance out of Jafar's stiff nature.
How in the hell?
The pacing feels off. There are some other stuff I like though. The sets were pretty cool, or at least they were pretty good, or as close as good can get to greatness. I mean, Agrabah had a nice look to it. I'm really spoiled by the lush colors of the original though, so I can't really hold that against the live action remake. There's only so much you can do there. The "You Can't Tell Me What to Do" song was pretty good, along with a few others, and if you've watched the movie, you know exactly which song I'm talking about. Also, the irony of being wished to be the greatest sorcerer that ever existed, yet being a really pathetic sorcerer is just, it's funny. It's funny in a non-ha-ha way. Some parts of this movie were really good, some parts of this movie were really bad. It's a lukewarm movie. Alright, that's it. Review's over. Get out of here. I love you guys.
Loving you.